Recording. Here we go. All right, and let me share my screen. It's just us right now. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Is it presenting?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. People are joining. We have 6 attendees.
Where do you see that?
Down on participants.
Oh, I'm sharing my screen. I can't see.
Oh,
You guys,
we have 7.
You guys, I might not be able to answer any chat box questions if I'm presenting.
Okay, who were you supposed to answer for? I can answer.
I was supposed to answer for you.
Oh.
I'll answer for you, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Cool. Yay, I'm so excited.
9 attendees.
Yay.
Welcome. Welcome back.
Hi.
I hope there's some kids on too.
They're probably listening to us too, just sitting with their parents.
Oops, sorry.
You're giving it away.
It was a sneak peek if they were paying attention.
All good readers take a sneak peek, Miss Sweetword.
It's my favorite lesson.
No, definitely scooping up.
Oh, the scooping one was really cute. I liked that one.
Scoop those phrases.
Test 1.
Okay, we have 13 attendees.
Test 1. 2.
Welcome, everybody. We have a couple more minutes. We're going to give it about 3 more minutes and then we'll get started. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us tonight for our first ever Zoom Back to School webinar. My name is Ms. Kowaleski. I'm the Assistant Director at STEM K-5, and I am going to introduce you to the four lovely ladies that are going to be with your students all year this year. So we have Miss Wiedeward, Miss Random Wiedeward, Mrs. Steer, formerly Miss Cole, Miss Manchester, and Miss Bench. I'm going to let them take it from here. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in the chat box. We will do our best to get through answer those questions as quickly as we can. If you have any specific questions for your teachers, you can always email them. If you have any data and curriculum questions, Dr. Johnson would be the person you may want to reach out to. Anything student related or school related, feel free to email me anytime. So I'm going to send it over to Ms. Wiedeward and we'll get started. If for some reason you miss a portion of this, we are recording it and the teachers will be sending it out in the next day or so. So welcome to Ms. Wiedeward.
All right. Actually, I'm Miss Bench and I'm going to get us started tonight. So thank you all for joining. We're just going to go through our presentation. And like Ms. Kowaleski said, if you have any questions, just type them in the chat box and we'll try to get to them as they come. So welcome to first grade. Next, please. All right. And these are our lovely faces. We have Miss Manchester, Miss Wiedeward, Miss Steer, me, Miss Bench, and we will have an online IA, an instructional assistant. You guys probably, if you were here last year, recognize her from kindergarten. And so she will be joining us online and helping out with the virtual students and probably meeting with a lot of you guys. All right, so this is an overview of our schedule. We're going to pick up our students outside in the sandbox at 7:30. Each of us have a painted stone where the students will line up at a socially distanced length apart and wait for us to come pick them up. We will take them inside and have a soft start and a morning meeting before we will begin math at 7:50. During the morning meeting, we'll do like a lot of community building and go over our day. And then we will head into math until about 9:30. We'll have a break for a morning recess and a snack usually. And then we'll come back inside and begin our literacy block. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention for math, or I'll get to that on a later slide. For literacy, that's when we'll do our guided reading, our whole group phonics, we'll practice some phonemic awareness. All things literacy based will be covered during that time. Then the kids go to lunch. After lunch, they head out to recess and then they'll go to specials. Our specials rotate week by week. They have Chinese, art, music, and PE. And we'll let you know on weeks that your student is in PE so they can wear the appropriate shoes. We'll come back for about almost an hour of writing time, end our day with about 45 minutes of STEM and social studies, and we end our day with a closing meeting to just kind of close out our community and pack up and be ready for you to get there at 2:20. All right, here's the number to the attendance line. If for any reason you are not going to be in school, just please go ahead and call the office and let them know. With everything going around, it's great that we have the opportunity to sign in virtually, even if you're feeling a bit under the weather. We want the kids to be present as much as possible since we do only see them 2 days a week. But if you need to be out, just communicate with us. If it's very serious and your child can't sign in virtually, we have a late work policy. And then if they are able to work from home, we can make that work for you too. All right. I'm going to go over the curriculum we use. For math, we use Eureka Math, and that's something that you guys can also access from home. So if you are doing e-learning and you want to print out any of the problem sets that we'll be using in class, we can send you those PDFs and you'll be able to print them out on your own. The online portion that goes with Eureka that we'll be using a lot is Zern. I don't think any of us have taught our students about Zern yet, but that's something they'll learn in the near future to practice the lessons that we're teaching. During our literacy block, we do guided reading. We're going to assess our students and then figure out what their right DRA level is, and we'll just progress them as they need to. At school, we really want to be where they have that productive struggle, whereas at home, reading is for fun, and if they want to read a lower level book or look at a higher level book that they might not comprehend yet, I encourage you to let them read whatever books they want to, and we'll let them do the hard stuff with us. We follow a Lucy Calkins phonics curriculum and a Hegarty phonemic awareness that we do daily that takes about 10 or 15 minutes. Our writing curriculum, we start on writing narratives. We work on small moments to really focus on details. We learn how to write informational books. We learn how to write chapter books. We work on, am I missing anything? Information, and opinion pieces. For our science curriculum, we use a curriculum called FOSS, and we cover all of the 2020 science standards that go with it. We follow moon patterns, sounds and vibrations, animal traits and characteristics. And within all of that, we also implement PBLs that encompass all of science and social studies and engineering and literacy together. So the students are really getting exposure to all those critical core subjects at once. Raina, thumbs up if you can talk yet.
I can take this one.
Oh, great. Thank you, Ms. Sweetward.
Yes, of course. Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Sweetward. We weren't talking as much because there was a little drill going on with the speaker PA system here at school. So finally it has ended, and I will talk to you about a hybrid versus an online class situation for your student. So as most of you A cohort parents know, hybrid classes, you're going to have 2 days in person with the teacher in a small class setting, all right? And then the school day for the rest of the week will be online. So they're going to have to attend and have some responsibility for those 3 days of the week that they're not with us. They'll be responsible for being safe and clean at school, wearing our mask, social distancing, washing our hands, using hand sanitizer, all those things, and we'll guide them through that. And they'll be responsible for following the schedule during the online days, as I said. As for the online class, they get to go online every day, and students will follow our schedule as closely as they can via Zoom and other lessons throughout the day. They'll be responsible for checking in with the teacher 2 to 3 times a day, and the student will be responsible for turning in assignments. And all of us have chosen to do Google Classroom this year, and there'll be daily assignments for that. But we really want you to know that both hybrid and online are a part of our whole classroom and community, and we're gonna work as hard as we can to get them to build those essential friendships and feel like they're a part of our classroom even though they are at home. So that's one thing we are totally dedicated to, and we're gonna, try until we get it right. Mrs. Steer, I think this is you. Oh, you're muted.
I was muted. Sorry, guys. I'm Mrs. Steer. You may have known me as Miss Cole in the past, but I recently got married, so I'm Mrs. Steer. So to get into Google Classroom, where you're going to do most of your online learning, it's really important your child's first logged into their Gmail. And so I know I've already sent some information to my A cohort about getting to their Gmail. And if you're in the B cohort or online, more information will be coming to you about how to get into your child's email at school. But once they're logged into their email, you can save that to your home computer so they don't have to keep logging in every time they want to get into Google Classroom. We do that in the classroom as well, so they just have to memorize their password. They don't have to memorize their long email address. So once they're logged in, it's really easy just to hit those dots right next to their name at the top of their screen on the right side. And once you do that, a drop-down menu will pop. And it's a green like chalkboard. You can see I put an arrow next to it, and that will take you to Google Classroom. So next slide, Ms. Wiedeward. Once you get into Google Classroom, and this is actually my classroom from last year, so you can see this is like our home page. So the stream page is kind of like the Facebook page. And so any important announcements you need to make, or I need to make, or anything I want to share with the whole class will be on here, but classwork will not be found on the stream page. So the next slide. The next page in Google Classroom is Classwork. And so this is where you'll find students' work every day, and it will be under headings. So you might want to you'll find writing assignments under writing and reading assignments under reading, and new assignments will come up every day. So if you're at home doing virtual learning, go to Google Classroom every morning. Your child won't be on the computer all day staring at a computer screen, but they will find recorded lessons of us. We're using another technology called Nearpod to hear us and see us throughout the day, but they won't be staring at Google Classroom all day. They will be writing and doing math problems away from the computer as well. Right, and then let's see, can you get that? Yeah, hopefully this works. I can't hear it.
Sorry, let me try again. Oops.
All right, let's learn how to turn and work in Google Classroom. The view has changed a little bit. So if you click on your class, you go to Classwork and you find an
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, we'll continue then.
assignment that you're looking to turn in. So for example, we'll use this Google Keep digital planner assignment. I'm going to view my assignment, and when I'm in the assignment view, you'll notice over on the side, we've got your work, add or create, and mark is done. I'm going to click on add or create, because what I need to do for this assignment is post a screenshot of my Google Keep dashboard when I'm finished setting it up. So I'm going to need to add a file in my downloads, or if I already have it saved in Google Drive, I can add my file from Google Drive. It all depends on where I saved it. Now, for this particular assignment, I need to go in here and take a screen grab. Now, I need to go turn in my work. I'm going to go to File because I didn't save it in my drive. I just saved it right on my device. So now we see my picture here. I'm going to click Upload. Wait for it to upload. Then I see it over here, it's loading. All right, there's my screen grab. I'm all done. I've posted a screenshot of my dashboard just as the assignment said how to turn it in. I'm gonna click Turn In. Turn in your work. One attachment will be submitted. Yep, there we go. And my work is turned in. Now, go turn in your work.
Awesome.
Awesome. So I just saw in the chat a question about, do I need to download an app to use Google Classroom? You can download an app to your phone or an iPad or tablet, and that does make it a little bit easier to use on a mobile device. But once your student has logged into their STEM account on your home device, your home computer, then they already have Google Classroom access. You don't need to download anything separate. Right, and then I think, great. So what other websites will we be using besides Google Classroom? We already talked a little bit about Zern, a math website that correlates directly to our math curriculum. Another one that actually some first graders tried out today is Prodigy, which is a really engaging math website, and it lets students work at their own pace. It's kind of like Minecraft in a way, so students always really like it. Raz Kids, if you were here at STEM school last year, you probably used Raz Kids in kindergarten. It's online books, so we can assign students books for them to read by themselves, or they can listen to read. There's a little comprehension questions afterwards, and the kids really enjoy doing that. And then one new is called Spelling City. So it's games where students can practice sight words and different spelling patterns, and they really have a fun time using that one as well. So we'll use those for a little bit more of reinforcement at home and at school. Right, and then another one, oh, hold on, Ms. Wiedeward, that we use is Nearpod. And so one great thing about Nearpod is that students can hear our voice, so we can show them a picture on Nearpod during the lesson. They can hear our voice with a picture, or we can put in videos of ourselves doing something, or a video from another website, and then they can access the lesson at home. And you can access the lesson as many times as you want. So when they get to the lesson, you'll see in the video in a minute, they just type in their name and they can listen to the lesson at their own pace. If they want to go back on another day and listen to that same lesson, or even later in the day, they can listen to it as many times as they want. All right, I think I'm ready for the video.
All right, here we go. Let me know if you can hear it.
We will also use Nearpod often during the school year. These will be linked to Google Classroom. Students will click on the link and a screen like this will pop up. They'll type in their first and last name and then click Join Session. Once they do that, students will see a screen similar to this where they can listen to the teacher talk and work at their own pace. Sometimes they'll see just pictures, but most of the time, they'll hear the teacher's voice too. At the end of the Nearpod, there's often an activity for students to complete. Like this one, students have to match the time to the clock. Teachers can see how students did on all their assignments. They can also see who logged in to the Nearpod that day and who did not. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Steer. Yeah, this is Mrs. Steer. It's a very kid-friendly format for your kids to be able to do things independently at home.
Yeah. All right, homework. So our main homework this year will be reading. So every night, once we assess kids and find out their reading level, your child will bring home a book bag, and there'll be about 1 to 3 books inside their book bag at all times. And so every night, get out a book from the bag, try to find the newest one or one that's a favorite, and read at least one book from that bag. And then if you have other books at home you want to read, or books from the library, you want to get on Raz Kids, read some additional books, that is great. If there's any other need, we'll always communicate with you ahead of time and make a plan on some extra practice your child might need. And then, but really just reading is our main concern at home this year.
And I'd like to add, rereading books is not a bad thing for your first grade students. This builds confidence and lets them see those sight words over and over and over again. So please don't think that just because they read them Monday and they're still in their bag on Tuesday that they don't need to read them. They should reread.
Yeah. And then someone just asked about this, and I think Ms. Minch answered it in the chat about virtual learners and books. So we'll be sharing books virtually as well. They can save them to their Google Drive. You can print them out as whatever works best for you. And they'll also have access to Raz Kids, where we'll be assigning books as well for them to read. So it will be a little more reading on the computer, but you can print the books out as well. But they'll have books they're assigned to read, just like if they were in school. Daily expectations. So this is more for our students who are coming in the hybrid program, but it's what we expect from everybody. Students will need to take home every single day a white binder, or just a binder of any color really, a book bag, water bottle, and 2 to 3 masks. And they'll keep those things here at school for the day. When it's time to pack up, they'll put them all in their backpack, take them home, and bring them back the next time they come to school. Students are expected to dress appropriately for the weather. If you can't tell by now, I'm from Texas, and so the snow is pretty new for me, but we go outside, snow or shine, here in Colorado, and it's great. We love it. And they'll also need those shoes, the appropriate clothing for PE as well. We have a snack time daily, so send 1 to 2 healthy snacks with your child every day. We'll do a snack recess, like Ms. Finch said, early in the day, and then usually in the afternoon we have a snack time as well. And then just come to school every day if you're learning at school or home, ready to learn and have fun. It doesn't matter where you are that day, but just have a positive attitude and try your best no matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have one more slide.
Yes.
And we have 3 classroom rules that are for all first graders. And the first one is to be respectful to yourself, others, and your school. The second one is to make smart choices. And the third one is to do your best and always work hard. And it looks like I missed a word on that last slide. All right.
Thanks, Mrs. Steer.
You're welcome. And then we have Miss Manchester.
Woo! And then please always help me if I do forget something, because I know there's a lot of information and sometimes I go a little too fast. All right, so online expectations. This goes for both cohorts if we are all online or if you're coming on A or B days, because we will be on, some of our work will be online. So academically, all work has to be completed on time. You will see that there's due dates on our online work. And here in class, of course, they'll know when it has to be turned in because they'll be here with me or with one of their other teachers. Please arrive promptly to all scheduled Zoom calls. It's really hard to get things done and move quickly if we can't all be there on time. We will have a waiting room, just kind of like today. They'll be in the waiting room, and then we'll get everybody in there and approve everyone so that we can get started with all of our Zoom calls, and that way we can start the lesson and get through everything that we need to get through for the day. Behaviorally, please dress for the day when we're on Zoom calls, or if you're just at home and not on a Zoom call, get up, get dressed, out of pajamas, and show that you are ready for the day. It helps everyone get motivated. Of course, you're dressed if you're here, but even if you're at home, try to be as motivated as possible by getting dressed so that everybody understands that it's like a school day and not just staying at home and doing things. When we are doing Zoom calls or a lesson, please have headphones on. It helps to minimize distraction, and it helps really to focus on what we're doing. It helps the student, and it helps with everyone around them so they don't get distracted as easily. When you're on a Zoom call or if you're watching a lesson, we ask that the students be active listeners and try to participate. So they should have their microphone muted, but they should still be having their eyes on the screen. They shouldn't have their toys or food or anything in front of them. They should be actively paying attention to what's going on the screen at that time. It won't be the whole entire day, but it definitely, when we're doing those lessons or we're doing Zoom calls, they need to be eyes on the computer and paying as close attention as they can so that they don't miss anything. So as it says in there, no distractions, toys, snacks, siblings. We love seeing everything that's going on in their lives. So if it's like a show and tell, that's a little different, but we definitely want it when we're doing like a face-to-face lesson, that they're paying attention to that and not getting easily distracted. So always stay mute as well. Ms. Wiedeward, I think you can go ahead to the next slide. I think I covered everything, but if I didn't, please feel free to jump in.
Sounds good.
Good.
I'm good.
Next slide, please. All right. Recess, everybody's favorite time. We usually have 2 recesses a day. They have one, I think it's after lunch, they do recesses, and then we have one in the afternoon. That's when they usually do their snack. We get a lot of fresh air. It's when we'll be doing distance play. So they still will have their masks on. The A cohort, we've already been talking to them about if you need a mask break, you have to be 2 arms length away from somebody else in your own area to take your mask off to take a break, and that's only outside. But when we're in school, it has to be on. So outside they can take a break. They can, in the beginning we were told we were not allowed to play in the playground, but now they're allowed to play in the playground. We clean in between each class going out there, and before we go out we do hand sanitizer. When we come back in, we do hand sanitizer, and we wash our hands depending on whose classroom it is. Some of us have sinks, some of us don't. So we do distance play. So we tell them, we can't do tag anymore. We try to keep our bubble, our body space, but they still do play outside and have that fresh air and that time out of the classroom and away from the computer. including the online students. Please, if you are online, schedule time for them to have snacks, schedule time to be outside, do some kind of activity. They should not be inside. If they were in school, they're not inside the whole time, so they need to be like out and about for everything. So please make sure that they're not just like, let's do all your schoolwork right now. Try to keep a regular schedule during the day. If you can get a schedule and stick to it, it will really help them know, like, okay, right now is my snack time, right now is when I'm doing math, right now is when I'm at my recess time, and that will really help them move forward throughout the day. I think that's it. Thank you. Field trips, my favorite part, which is sad that we cannot do them this year, but we are going to try to do them virtually. So you can explore learning in lots of different ways. I put an example on here. It's like a planetarium. We don't have to click on it. It gets a little confusing. I think it might mess up the webinar, but when we send it out, you can always try it out. It's during the year we get the planetarium usually to come to the school, and the kids get to see all the different constellations and ask questions, and it's a really cool thing to do. This website lets them do it virtually, where they can click on the different constellations, they can learn about them, the history, how they started. It's a very fun thing to play with. And so we'll be doing online field trips, virtual ones, where there's like an activity afterwards away from the computer, so that they're on the computer to see things and can explore, but then also get away from the computer and learn even more about it. Volunteering. No, you may not volunteer. Unfortunately, at this time, we will not be allowing volunteers in our classrooms. We will do virtual opportunities. So we'll do like a mystery reader, which for new parents, that's basically where you can sign up to be a reader in the classroom, but you won't be in class. You'll choose like a book or two, and we can either schedule a Zoom, and you can read to the students from Zoom, or you can record yourself reading, and I can show the class, and that way they kind of have fun with it. And so the reason it's a mystery reader is you send me 3 clues, and I have the kids I read the 3 clues to the kids, and they try to guess whose parent, grandparent, sister, brother, whoever it is. And it's a really fun game to play, and they get really excited about it. Since we aren't doing any volunteering other than the mystery reader, you can always donate to our classrooms. We have our wish lists at the end of the webinar. Some of us sent them home with the online students who picked up their supplies. We will also be able to send them out in emails if you need the paper or need the link. So please feel free to ask for that. We love donations, and of course we love, if you want to help with anything, feel free to let us know. Maybe if you want to cut something out for us or something of that nature, we can send it home with some of the students and you can help out. We love volunteers. We just can't have you in the classroom this year, sadly.
You may volunteer in the drive line, though. We always need volunteers for that.
That's correct. Birthdays! I know we have some birthdays coming up in my classroom. So for celebrating birthdays, usually we sing happy birthday. We can't have parent volunteers, sadly. We will do birthday snacks, but they need to be store-bought, individually wrapped. The teacher's gonna pass them out, and we will eat them outside, just to keep as many germs away as possible and try to keep everybody safe. I know it's a little different than it usually is, and it's kind of hard, but we're gonna try our best to still have some normalcy, even though there's restrictions on things. Every teacher does something different in the classroom. Like in my classroom, we love to do like go noodle dances, and the kids will do that, or the kids will make up a funny song. We'll do different rhymes with their name. Everybody does something fun for birthdays. And we love ideas for doing it virtually too. So if you have any ideas, please let us know, and we will always have fun on the birthdays. At least we try to. And I think this is Miss Wiedeword.
All right, thank you, Miss Manchester.
You are welcome.
All right, this is a little bit wordy, but I think every word is worth it. We want you to know that as a first grade team, we are totally committed to your child's learning success. And we want to work with these 2 keywords, flexibility and grace, through the challenges that will come in this year of online and hybrid learning. We are going to be flexible with you and have grace when you mess up, and we expect the same from you because it is inevitable. Wrong Zoom links, accidentally missing a Zoom meeting or something, those things are going to happen, but we are hopeful that we can work out the kinks and get a smooth delivery as soon as we can. We request from you parents that you also work with flexibility and grace during this time as well to ensure that your child has the best year possible. Please help your child to follow the rules behaviorally and academically when they're at home doing these online learnings and guiding them with positivity. All right. Please keep communication with your child's teacher open and receptive so that we can be an amazing team for your child in first grade. If you're wondering right now, like, I'm not a teacher, how do I support my learner in the best way I can? I just jotted down a couple of tips. Even the hybrid students, they'll be online some days as well, so it's going to be quite a different experience for us. One thing you can do is ask them how their schoolwork is going and make sure their assignments are up to date and they're completing everything and turning it in. If something seems overwhelming to them, give them a brain break. That's what us teachers would do as well. Let them run around the house, let them go have some downtime, read a fun book for a while, take a nap, eat a snack, all those things. Just give them like a break with a timer, and then when that timer goes off, they can get back to it, hopefully in a better spirit. So like I said, snack, water, exercise, all those things. Making a written or visual schedule so that they can see the day and what they've accomplished and what they have yet to accomplish would not hurt at all. Stay in touch with us, please. We are open to emails. We are open to comments on Google Classroom so we can give you the support you need. And please allow the students to do their assignments on their own. I know this is going to be hard at first, like navigating Zoom and learning how to do a Nearpod lesson. Of course, you can help them figure out what buttons to press, the passwords to put in, and all that stuff. But eventually, you're going to have to start getting your hands off and letting them figure it out. The struggle is going to be real, but that's what makes a learner a great learner. They're going to succeed and they're going to feel accomplished because they did the work themselves. If you need any help with that, please let us know and we can support you. All right, I guess we're on to teacher wish lists. If you want to help us out in the classroom by donating things that we'll need that will help future first grade classes, we would really appreciate it. Our links are right here. If you want to email us directly about anything we might need, you can do that as well. And really, things are constantly changing this year. We will stay in communication as the year progresses. And our motto this year, just be flexible. And that is the end of our presentation that we have for you. I hope it answered a lot of your questions. If you have any extra questions directly for one of us, feel free to email us. But if you have anything that you think would benefit a whole group from hearing it, you can put it in the chat box and we can answer it now.
So the codes and the passwords, we plan on making individual student login pages with their logins and passwords. We try to keep it as simple as possible. The passwords are usually STEM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not all websites and apps let us choose our passwords, so we'll send all of your student information home with their specific logins at the end of the week.
There was a question about the color papers in Driveline, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Kowaleski, but we are not using those this year, correct? Oh, she's...
Yes, thank you. So thank you for that question. So we are hoping not to use that system. We piloted a system called Pick My Kid last year with a couple of our parents, and it was with every full intention that we were going to start this year off with Pick My Kid. Unfortunately, there is another program called Clever, which STEM joined over the summer in an effort to help limit the amount of, it will offer a one-click sign-in for all these apps that somebody just asked about. So we adopted Clever, and we also had Pick My Kid, and for whatever reason, with technology, they are not in sync, and we've tried many times to sync all of the new student information over from Clever into Pick My Kid. My hope is to have an update to all of you by tomorrow evening with the registration information. So you can download it now. It's Pick My Kid, PIKMY KID. So I would definitely download that now. And then my hope is that on Wednesday, we'll let you know. We're going to give this a good try on Thursday for those of you that are in cohort B, and then we would start that up on Monday. If for some reason we find out on Wednesday it is not going to happen on Thursday, then on Thursday, for all of the cohort B families, we will be handing out some placards, some colored placards, and the pickup times will still be the same. So kindergarten, first grade will still be 2:20 pickup if you only have a kindergartner or first grader, 2:30 if you have a K1 2 through 5 student, a combination there, and then 2:50 if you have a secondary student with an elementary school student. So be looking for the update. If we think we can get Pick My Kid up and running Thursday, then you'll get the update tomorrow, just letting you know how to register on that Pick My Kid app, and we're going to give it a grand shot on Thursday afternoon. If it does not happen, expect us all out there on Thursday afternoon with some neon colored paper and some directions as to how to help us implement that placard system for Monday.
All right, I'm going to go back up. There was a question. How many online Zooms will students have? For example, will they follow the same schedule as in-person classes? This is our goal. It is a high and mighty goal to have your students with us during the math lessons, during the reading lessons, and for guided reading, possibly some STEM time. Starting next week, we're all going to try to do that just by sending you the times for our own individual classroom. So those will probably most likely be posted on Google Classroom. That's what I'll probably be doing. Ladies, you as well maybe. But we will get that information to you as soon as we know it. I think that answered two of the questions. When will we know the time for Zooms? The days the kids are virtual. You'll find it on Google Classroom.
Can I speak to that really quickly, Raina? Just so parents are aware, we are asking that students at home, whether they're the hybrid online days or full online students, and I think one of the teachers mentioned it, we are asking that teachers do their best to follow that schedule. So if they're doing math from 8:30 to 9:30, we ask that while at home, the students are logging into that Nearpod activity or getting on Zern. And then those check-in times, those Zoom times that Ms. Weederwood was speaking of, would be the time that they would get on. The teachers will to join that Zoom time, and it will be a consistent time to answer questions and to offer support. It's probably going to be, to begin with, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of time. They'll get their classroom going on an activity, and then they'll look to your students and be there to support them through their learning at home. What Ms. Weederwood is referring to as extending that time, the hope is once we all become better acquainted with online learning, whether it be at home and parents and students and teachers, that there is the hope that we can bring those two classrooms, your home classroom and the school classroom, together and offer a more consistent time. Right now, to start, we ask that, once again, students are online the same time frames that they are at school, or engaging in those learning activities, and that they check in twice, maybe 3 times a day during that learning time, just to see if there's questions. Do they need directions? Is there something somebody's confused about? So that is the expectation for parents at home.
Thank you, Ms. Kowalski. I saw a couple questions about, like, will kids get to meet virtually online? Will A cohort meet B cohort, and so on and so on? And yes, Fridays will definitely be that day where we all can get together and meet more often. And then I saw somebody else ask about, like, online recess, and we already have some great ideas for online recesses and brain breaks and all sorts of stuff. So yes, your kids will get to meet and greet and be together virtually in a variety of ways. We'll be using some technology such as Flipgrid, where kids can share videos with each other. And they can only see each other's videos in the class, so nobody else can access it. So it's a little bit safer to use, and they can share things like their favorite book or a writing they did in class and things like that to make it a little more interactive.
Awesome. One question farther up was, can we use an iPad for schoolwork if our child will be with a babysitter? An iPad will work very well. The only thing that we figured out last year was if the student is able to walk around with it or move it or shake it, that's very distracting to us and to them and to the other students on the Zoom. So if you can put the iPad up on a stand or put it somewhere where it will not move, don't let your kid like roll around in bed, obviously, with your iPad, but it does work with all the things that we'll be using.
I'm going to jump on in there again, just because we need to wrap up fairly quickly. We do want to answer your questions. I know the teachers are here to support you any way they can, but we do have another webinar that is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock, and we need to get those teachers on and these guys off and give them a few minutes to prepare as well. But we do appreciate your attendance today, and then you may reach out to any one of these wonderful teachers. They're here to support you throughout the year. So thank you, everyone, for attending.
Yeah, thanks. We look forward to meeting you all and enjoying your students and seeing them grow.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so
Reach
much.
out if you need anything.
Bye.
All right, I'm going to stop it. Yes?
Yep. Have a great, if you email us any questions, if you have more. Thanks, everybody.